Chillier Pair, one of your casters today, joined once again by Takeni. Good evening.
Hello, Chillier. How are you doing?
I'm riding the high right now. I have seen some absolutely stellar gameplay today out of every single one of these matches. We've had some serious upsets. We've had some seeding upsets. We've had some tiebreaker matches, now 2 in a row down in that bottom bracket. Bartek versus LOL234 going to be duking it out next week, the 2 tiebreaker matches.
And that's going to be intense. And what good tiebreakers they were if you were watching this stream. It's just absolutely incredible. Great matches all around. And I'm hoping that this one continues the streak of just beautiful matches all throughout.
Well, we've got a lot to expect from this match. We have Tekkito versus ninerik. Here's that final look at the losers bracket really quick. We got Swick versus Chikoni. The loser of this match face off against Enter Camping, Reedcat and Demonical, and Amamiya Kokoro versus Mustache. Take a look at ninerik first, or Tekkito, or one of the two. We'll give you a quick glimpse of these 2 players here. Tekkito going to be our higher seeded player here in this match. An extremely skilled player. They can pass 10-star maps like they're 6 stars, and that's not exaggerating whatsoever. Tekkito is so good at these absolutely ridiculous difficulty level picks that we're going to be able to see. So expecting a lot out of him from this tournament, and either the upper or the lower bracket. Very good proficient hidden player. Exactly what we like to see from Tekkito all the time. Some aim thrown into there, of course, as well, and speed tech being something that you have probably seen him in for during OWC. Looks like other player, ninerik. Thoughts on ninerik? Kind of a newer face in the tournament scene.
Yeah, ninerik, I feel like he's kind of become the pride of Norway in the past year. Such an amazing player, especially in terms of speed. We've seen him win solo speed showdown, even a 1v1 speed cup of sorts. Absolutely incredible player. You're already seeing he has multiple thousand PP plays. So good. Ranked 19. One of the best players in Europe for sure. And I'm really excited to see what he can do here against Tekkito.
Yeah, you see those performance point values coming out from ninerik here. Just some crazy level tapping plays. And you hear Glory Days, Lionheart, and Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. So, if the best skill sets didn't kind of give you an idea of exactly what ninerik was good for, then those top plays there certainly will. But it's going to be about who has the better tournament consistency today, who is a little bit more prepared across the board. Of course, being on an earlier stage map pool, we're really not looking to push skill cap between these 2 players here. We are going to see who is able to hold out longer across this quite diverse map pool here. Any predictions for bans or even potential first picks from either of these 2 players here, knowing what we know about each of them?
I'm not really sure. The big consensus thing, obviously, is that both of these players are really good at speed. And the question is going to be, will ninerik feel comfortable first picking into speed? That's kind of where my head's at.
We've got a lot of good double time maps in here. A lot that we've seen quite a bit throughout these matches here. The DT pool has been very popular. It's going to be Tekkito on the first choice of pick or ban, winning the roll. ninerik going to be rolling that 70, Tekkito just above in the mid-70s as well. We're going to take a quick second, get these players all set up, good to go here. I definitely expect Tekkito to ban out some of these faster DT maps, just not even necessarily based on his own skill set, but where ninerik is going to be really comfortable. It's probably going to be something along the lines of DT3 potentially for a first ban. Of course, bans going A, B, B, A in this, going to have the 2 consecutive bans in the middle. But ninerik got a lot more to worry about in here. Tekkito fantastic at the entire hidden pool, most likely. Very good at the tech and aim style Nomad 3s as well. Really, the only difference between this match and some other stuff that we've seen this weekend is that, neither of these players really goes for the Hard Rock pool too often. So we're looking for maybe a little bit of variation there. Might not see all of those get picked today. Tekkito's going to end up going for first pick here, so we're going to be switching it up from some of the usual routes here, but it's going to be ninerik on the first ban.
All right, and that ban is going to be Nomad 5, getting rid of the gimmick pick from the Nomad pool, not wanting to play that against Tekkito. Completely understandable, as Tekkito bans DT2.
That's exactly something that we were kind of mentioning before. You know, both of these players very proficient at certain skill sets here, but we're really looking for Tekkito to maybe branch out a little bit more into some of those gimmick skill sets. It's going to be a double time 2 ban out of Tekkito, and we are really going fast with these bans here. Wow, we've got the hidden 2 ban as well coming out from ninerik. Knows exactly what Tekkito is good at in that pool. And Tekkito's actually going to go for the Hard Rock ban on Gorshit's Lolly Fantasy. Interesting ban there. A very straightforward map, though, something that you want to avoid. And, of course, we've mentioned it before as we were going over the start of this match here. It is the Nomad 4 for Tekkito to open it up. The slider aim tech pick. This is probably what we could label as Tekkito's #1 skill set, at least for what maps are remaining left in this pool with the low AR being banned. There's a couple of other maps in here that we might look towards as well, something like Hidden 4, which follows a very similar skill set to this, just with the hidden modification. We'll see what happens between these two players at the start of this match. Who's feeling good today? Who is ready and coming out swinging? Tekkito versus ninerik, best of 11, first to 6. And it's all going to start here on Valhalla.
Here we go into the first map. As you said, this is Tekkito's comfort zone. Those tech picks, he loves playing them. He loves mapping them. And again, this is a Corsair's champion. It's not like he's inconsistent in any ways on this kind of tech pick. ninerik does basically just have to FC if he wants to beat Tekkito. He has every right to be scared right now.
Yeah, this is definitely one of those scenarios where this opening pick is really just supposed to be favored to the person who goes for it here. Really a bit of an act difference here, and there is ninerik going down at the start of the pick immediately, not quite able to handle these high-velocity sliders quite as well, and Tekkito's going to run away with a significant amount of score as ninerik continues to have trouble at the beginning of this map here. Of course, both of these players know exactly what they're doing on these pools, but a break from Tekkito is going to make this a little bit more even here. Now ninerik's got the combo advantage by about double what Tekkito has right now. Score is going to go back towards ninerik just a little bit, but man, that accuracy difference is doing damage.
It sure is. Now, this map is really short. Every break counts, and there's another break from Tekkito right there, right before the spinner. That's actually going to be big as we go into the slow section right before the Ki. ninerik is going to be able to build up that score really, really fast, and the act gap is closing.
ninerik is a very, very high-skilled aim player, despite us continuously talking about ninerik being very good at those, high-speed stamina picks here. So Tekkito finding a couple of slider breaks here and misaims on some of these sliders is doing a lot more damage quickly because ninerik is just able to aim through this. Not quite going for the slider ends, not going for perfect accuracy, but you don't need it when you've got 600 combo, and Tekkito continues to find breaks. ninerik holding 650 combo and climbing to 700 now, 430,000 score. It's gonna take a pause towards the ending of the map here, see if we can get this all finished out here, but ninerik has so much combo, there's almost no way Tekkito can get back into this now unless ninerik has a complete meltdown at the ending here, and it looks to be a break point to start this match off.
Tekkito maybe not looking good on the first pick. He's going to need to reevaluate the gameplay here as we go into the next couple maps. Losing to ninerik on the first pick, on his first pick, no less. Tekkito losing on tech to start off the match, and ninerik taking a beautiful break point with an almost 200k score lead.
And how comfortable those players are on this map really does only show through that accuracy. 99.01 on Tekkito, 97.67 on ninerik. It is the difference of a singular miss for Tekkito and the placement of them on that to give the break point away. An absolutely tragic start for the match on Tekkito's end here. That's definitely one of those opening picks that you don't often see go the other way, but ninerik came out, he's ready to go, at the start of this match here. We are going to be going into his first pick now, starting on possibly the double time pool here. You know, we talked a lot about being good at that speed and stamina, and the Nomad 2 this week doesn't quite favor those tapping players as much as you think, and there it is, the DT3, that one high BPM stamina speed map here on DICE. Very consistent, a longer pick inside of this DT pool besides DT1, and really does favor those who are comfortable with these triples and higher BPM bursts. Both of these players can handle it, but being ninirik's first pick here, we imagine just a slightly higher level of how comfortable he is going to be going into this.
Yeah, this DT3 also fairly aim-centric as well. We saw it. You know, Zudi versus Reedcat. Zudi was actually benefiting off that aim as well. And ninerik, as we said, a pretty damn good aim player. So he's hoping to bring that out against Tekkito here, I imagine.
Well, both of these players have opportunities for it. We've seen some lower accuracies on this map from some of our conventional speed players, but also some that are fairly good. It's just a matter of whether or not each of these players is going to be comfortable on some of these here. We saw earlier some unfortunate breaks from players on some of these kind of linear bursts here. It really is easy to leave the ending of one too early if you're not locking in that aim here. It's going to be Tekkito with a little bit of an accuracy lead at the start. We're not going to quite get into the hard part of the map until we get this first ki after this section right now. And this is really going to be a telltale sign of how comfortable these two players are right now if they're able to maintain accuracy through this section. It's all on ninerik to consolidate that break point. Tekkito wants to do everything he can to keep ninerik from getting back into this match and getting a good head start here. Both of these players have the capacity to FC a map like this. It's a matter of who is able to maintain it for the almost 3 minutes that this pick is.
Yeah, we are going to do a slower section. I don't think we're going to see any major changes here. The act lead is starting to shift back to Tekkito as they kind of evened out earlier in that ki. ninerik starting to catch up just a little bit, though. He does have the score lead currently.
Gonna hold it down for just a little bit longer here. That accuracy not too far in favor of ninerik, but it's enough to hold the score lead, not for security here. Halfway through the map has passed. We're going to get into slightly more straightforward section here before we get into a pretty big ki coming up right about now. This is a section where we've seen a lot of players break right towards the ending of this section. There is a pause afterwards, and it's really going to come down to how these players handle this section here. Going to come into the last few seconds of it. Tekkito has taken the accuracy lead, 99%, he misses!
That's so big, and ninerik knows now! Going into the last ki, ninerik he can act with confidence! And here we go! Starting to build up, ninerik knows! And look, that score lead is immediately going away. It's almost 100k already. It's basically over, and ninerik point on his pick. Up 2-0 against Tekkito already!
Oh my goodness, our United States contender not having a good time at the start of this match here. 98.91% accuracy, one miss at the ending of the huge ki that needed to be hit before the refrain pause at the ending, and ninerik is going to be closing this out with what seems to be a full combo, 99.1% accuracy into the ending of DICE, and that's going to be a consolidated break point for ninerik. 2 points in a row at the start of the match. We're going back to his pick. Oh man, that is just the most poorly timed one miss that Tekkito could have found on that pick there. Really needed to get back into this match as early as possible, but a little bit of a slow start here. Gonna go in for the hidden 3. We've got some tech-styled mapping once again, but this time featuring the hidden modification. We talked up Tekkito a lot on that Nomad 4 before we started off this match, and unfortunately wasn't able to pull that pick out, but we are going into the hidden pool now, which is definitely a huge point of strength for what Tekkito is going to be looking for in the remainder of this match. There's quite a few maps left in this pool as well, with the notable exception of hidden 2. There's plenty of time left in this match.
For sure, Tekkito's such a strong hidden player. We talked about it before the match, and now he's getting his chance to show it. After losing a bit of that early lead against ninerik, hoping to take it back with that hidden skill, you say, you know what, let's pivot off of the Nomad, off of the DT. Let's not do that again. ninerik clearly just too good to just comfortably go with those picks. Let's try the hidden tech, and I absolutely respect that pick.
ninerik's taking a couple of seconds here to maybe calm the nerves, even with these high-skilled players and their consistency across tournaments. It does, kind of bring up a little bit of nervousness once you start to full combo these picks here. Any player, it's pretty much unavoidable, so we're looking for the best performance out of these two. They're going to run the whole timer there, and we're going to get straight into hidden 3 minute and 59 seconds, 160 BPM. Pretty mild on the stats, but once you see how this map is laid out, Fairy knows exactly what type of things are super uncomfortable for players on these textile picks here. And we're looking for a little bit of redemption for Tekkito on this map right now. Going to try and get a point on the board with the consolidated break point on ninerik right now. Strong start for both players. Higher accuracy on ninerik. We're looking for any misses from either of these players. Very aim-intensive map here. Requires precise movement, and ninerik's going to over-aim that first space wide-angle stream.
Not as comfortable on Tekkito, something like this. The great news for Tekkito, too, is if he wins this, he can just pick HD4 later on in the match. It's big for him. HD4, another hidden tech map. Not quite the same style as this, but probably enough for Tekkito to still go over the edge anyways, and he's FCing right now, so I kind of see that in the future as ninerik finds another break.
Big breaks from ninerik here, just a little bit more frequent than what we're seeing out of Tekkito. There is going to be a miss around halfway. Very undesirable timing for him, but only down about 60 combo on ninerik right now. It is going to be 120,000 score in favor of Tekkito, holding into the latter half of the pick here, as well as that accuracy lead. It is an uphill battle for ninerik right now, despite having that combo lead. The note density towards the ending doesn't get much worse. And it's going to be a break from ninerik, and that might just solidify this hidden 3 pick in favor of Tekkito. Last Ki coming up right now. Big section of the map here. Anything could happen. We see a big chain miss from either of these players, and this could turn around, but it's looking really good for Tekkito right now to get a point on the board.
Yeah, Tekkito just absolutely dominating on this map. This is that dominance that we expected from Tekkito on tech, the dominance that we were kind of missing on that No Mod 4. As ninerik finds more misses, it is over. Tekkito 634k winning the match. Sorry, the map.
Are we revealing the script again? Is this happening twice in a row?
No. I would never leak the script. No, I would never do that.
No caster bias whatsoever. 5 misses for Tekkito, 98.24% accuracy, 15 for ninerik. They're just a little bit more comfortable coming out on that hidden 3. It's going to go back to ninerik's pick now. He's going to be able to potentially go up 1 more point here. But it's looking a heck of a lot better for Tekkito now that, you get that 1 point on there. It looks worse than you'd think. You got the 2 points up there. You've got nothing to show for it on the board. That big blank 0 there. And we have everything going back into order now. Tekkito getting a little bit of momentum here. ninerik going to try and keep up the roll that he's been on so far. Running out of, some of those speed maps that I think we pinned ninerik on, but definitely good at the mechanic style maps. Probably looking for some of the aim picks in the pool as well eventually. I imagine we'll see something around that style, but it's going to be the Hard Rock 2, something that I wasn't expecting to see this early on in the match. It's the CS 6.5 pick, Knight Rider. Very straightforward. It's got some slider aim in here, a couple triple bursts. And we're really looking for some aim control on this one, which ninerik looked to be pretty comfortable on through the No Mod 4 with those sliders.
Yeah, this is some classic old tech. I think this pick makes a lot of sense for ninerik, just given what he plays. I don't think this old tech is too far off from that No Mod 4 win, nor is it too far off from all the speed maps he plays, honestly. Just in terms of style, I think this aim control in the CS 6.5 just makes sense for ninerik. Just going into Tekkito, hoping to throw him off a little bit with this.
This is a dangerous pick, and by no means am I discounting the hard rock abilities of either of these players, but if you've seen this match in if you've seen this map in a couple of matches this weekend so far, you know that this map has a very high score average across the weekend here. ninerik's going to find a little bit of a break at the beginning of the map. We'll kind of forgive that, chalk it up to looking for maybe just getting into the flow of things here, but it's definitely not what you want to see for the remainder of this here. Tekkito is not a player who you can see miss on this style of pick too often, and with the scores we've seen, A lot of full combos coming out on this one. Any miss means a heck of a lot here. A little bit shakier for Tekkito on the aim on some of these stacked notes here, though. We're looking for it to get back even with a 100 combo deficit on ninerik.
Here we go. Hitting into the first Ki here. Tekkito still FCing. ninerik not far behind, but that combo lead is going to give Tekkito that advantage. ninerik needs Tekkito to find some significant act drops or a break for anything to happen here.
He's got the accuracy lead in his favor, 99.25 to 98.51. We're going to get a little bit of a restrain section here. Not going to say anything in the efforts to not jinx it. We're just past halfway in the pick right now. We're going to come into this last Ki section here, and this is really where any of those miss aims will come into play. The CS 6.5, you have to be so cognizant of where your cursor is placed, and we're seeing a little bit of uncertainty out of both of these players right now. ninerik's aim just inherently a little bit more smooth, being a mouse player, but we are seeing both of them lock it in from that first break from ninerik, still hoping from something out of Tekkito. We're coming into the last quarter of the map now, and we're really going to start to run out of time as Tekkito misaims the front of a slider. He's going to find a slider break, and ninerik's going to start to bring it back.
And another break to solidify it right there. ninerik taking it away right at the very end. It was that tactical miss at the beginning, I would say. And Tekkito finding another break and another break and another break as ninerik gets to a 100k lead right here. 150k at the end. ninerik taking his third point on the board.
Tekkito at the last possible second that you could ever let up a point is going to let it go on the over-aim of the start of a slider. ninerik is going to be able to secure his own pick on the Hard Rock 2 map. 3-1 now. Tekkito going back into the hidden pool immediately, unfazed by that. That was an almost instant pick. We are going into a very uncomfortable hidden 1 map for those who are not ready for picks like this. ninerik continuously taking up these full timers to try and calm the nerves a little bit. Understandably, this is a very strong position to be in at the start of this match. I know it's only halfway in with 3 picks, but in a best of 6, ninerik is able to get even one more map of leeway. It is going to be a very difficult fight for Tekkito, but with hidden picks remaining in this pool, there is a lot of avenues back into this. Tekkito does need to find a break point, however, being that ninerik was able to consolidate that first one. And, you know, I think that... Do you think these nerves on ninerik are going to have any effect on, you know, kind of the remainder of this match as maybe he tries to keep this even?
I think absolutely, but he can operate with just a little bit more confidence than you might think, as he does have that big lead. You know, Tekkito does have to get himself a breakpoint, and that's going to be a big thing for ninerik, is being able to say, okay, well, maybe I'm the lower seeded player, maybe I have reason to be scared, but also I'm in the lead. Tekkito has to get a breakpoint to win. I can operate with some form of confidence, so even if I break on something, I don't have to be too concerned.
Well, we'll see what happens in the next pick for ninerik here. Definitely not a big point of worry for him going into a hidden 1 pick. I think this is the style of map where you kind of expect Tekkito to just be so good at this type of pick. So regardless of who this point goes to, I think that we will be seeing something along the lines of what we kind of expect on this. It's a double S at the beginning for Tekkito right now. A little bit of a slow start to the map as we get into these wide angle jumps. It's 98.7% for ninerik, just a couple of hundreds, a little bit of uncertainty at the endings of these sliders is really where we're seeing the hundreds come out from. Looking strong on these jumps. 190 BPM is pretty comfortable for most players of this caliber here, so we shouldn't be looking at too much in this first half here, but really once those combos start to build up, that's where you can be worried for maybe some nerves. ninerik has definitely shown the nerves more so than Tekkito, who, you know, may or may not be bottling it up, might be nervous, might not be. And we will try and see how, if Tekkito can get this second point on the board here. Lead on the ACK by a decent amount right now as well, over 1%.
Yeah, going into the second KI, nothing too big. Obviously, you said the ACK lead is hugely in Tekkito's favor, and that might come to define the map, honestly. As ninerik just having just a little bit more trouble comfortably finding ACK on this map. But, I mean, no breaks, nothing major. Never mind, I take that back as ninerik finds one!
Found a break, found one! Takani found it. We have discovered the miss from ninerik there. The accuracy was a telltale sign of just being a little bit less comfortable. And Tekkito is proving exactly why we've been hidden as one of his major skill sets here. ninerik's going to find another break on some of these wide angle jumps in the latter half. Last quarter of the map coming up here. 619,000 to 435,000. Now 2% accuracy in the lead for Tekkito. Into the last Ki here. Last big set of jumps. It's going to be ninerik finding another break. And I think that is just plain going to be it for the hidden one pick here. Oh, both players are going to trade the exact same miss. And that's definitely going to secure it now.
Yeah, Tekkito showing his proficiency on this hidden one. Not too big of a surprise. Obviously a very good hidden player. But I am a little bit surprised to see ninerik capping himself at 500k here. You know, we talked a lot about how good he is at aim, and unfortunately just not showing it on this pick. Hopefully he can in the future of this map. But for that, it's going to be a Tekkito win, finding another break at the end, but it doesn't really matter as he ends at 787k.
And it is a strong finish and a sad face for ninerik into the ending of the hidden one. Little bit disappointed about the performance on that one potentially, but Tekkito just so strong. 99+% accuracy into the finish of the hidden one. It's 6 100s with 3 misses all at the ending. And that is now going to make it 2-3. Going back to ninerik's pick now, he is going to have the opportunity to maintain this 2-point lead over Tekkito for as long as he can find wins on his own picks, but it is going to be possible still for Tekkito to find a way back into this. There is a lot left in this pool for him to pick from.
You know, see here again, ninerik does have the comfort. Tekkito has to find a breakpoint. ninerik's going to pick Nomad 2, a bit of a contentious map that we've seen this weekend. Not really exactly what you'd expect from a Nomad 2 in terms of who's winning it. I mean, we saw Zudi winning against Reedcat, for example. So this Nomad 2 could really go either way, which is really scary.
You know, as in terms of Nomad 2s, this map is actually quite aim heavy for, you know, what I would say quote-unquote meta has been lately for Nomad 2s. I think you either see some, you know, high BPM spaced streams or these like really dense, long, stamina-oriented patternings. And with a map like this, which is, you know, maybe a little bit more old styled, you've got a lot of jumps into these triples going into some aim. And then you've got a couple of streams here and there where you really just need to be able to maintain that stream velocity and how fast you're moving your cursor. And that's where we've seen a lot of players chain miss on these introduction streams here, really where they're not quite ready for what this map has to throw at them. And, you know, as we progress through it, it definitely, the combos build up a little bit more. But neither player having trouble at the beginning of this. Tekkito is going to be down a very, very early miss within the first maybe 7 combo of this map here. It's going to be an hack lead and combo lead for ninerik in mall fashion here, but anything can happen on these streams.
Yeah, we did see Tekkito find, I guess, a tactical miss of sorts on, I think, the second object of the map. I just want to point that out because that's just really funny. ninerik does have, I think, 1 to 2 object combo advantage, plus a really good ACK advantage by about 0.5%.
Yeah, this map very comfortable for a player of both of these calibers, actually. 200 BPM is well within the range that Tekkito and ninerik will be comfortable at here. It really is going to come down to maybe some of these ending patterns here and who's able to hold their nerve on the stream spacing here. Tekkito is really going to make it difficult on himself with this accuracy right now, though, as we come into the next set of streams here. Will we see anything out of these two players right here? Act drop or combo drop, anything makes the difference, and it's ninerik to miss the ending of the last few notes of the stream there. Tekkito is just able to hold a little bit longer, and it's another chain miss for ninerik. This is what we were talking about. This map is so unforgiving to anyone who is not ready for what these streams have to throw at you.
Yeah, we were starting to see on that stream where he initially missed, he was starting to hesitate on his aim a little bit. and it ended him off going on the wrong angle on the turn. Unfortunately, ninerik finding 2 chain misses in a row, and now it's a Tekkito game. We're in the last quarter of the map. This map is not long at all. And Tekkito almost has 1,000 combo and a 200k score lead.
We're going to come into the last set of streams after these jumps here, and that's really going to be it for this map. There is not any time left for ninerik to make a comeback unless Tekkito absolutely chain misses the entire ending of this map. And with this first stream being finished, that is going to be it. Tekkito is going to find the break point into ninerik, and once again, we're going to see the picking player losing the Nomad 2. I believe this is either the 3rd or 4th time this weekend we have seen this happen. It's a singular miss at the beginning for Tekkito, and a tied match, 3-3 going on to Tekkito's pick. This is a big shift in the momentum of this match now in favor of Tekkito. If this match stays even, both players win their picks back and forth here. Tekkito will force ninerik to have to win his own pick in order to force tiebreaker, going back and forth for the remainder of this match. Completely different from what we have seen thus far from that 3-1 lead on ninerik. Now going to Tekkito's pick. Do you think he's going to branch back into hidden again? Just keep it rolling?
I think so. I think we might see the hidden 4. And as I said, ninerik didn't have any need to be nervous unless we saw Tekkito take a break point, and he finally did. And he's actually going with Nomad 3. Sorry, not hidden 4. But now ninerik has every right to be nervous against this absolute monster of a player in Tekkito.
We've got the Nomad 3 out here, this alt map, very tricky patterning here again, something that requires quite a bit of aim control. You have to constantly focus on where you are moving your cursor. This map has a lot of overlaps, a lot of sharp angles, places where if you lose focus, you're not going to have a good time on this. Not quite as difficult as the top difficulty of this map, but it is still hefty for players who are not comfortable with this. Tekkito potentially saving that hidden 4 flow aim tech style pick for later on in the match if necessary. There's no reason for Tekkito to be scared now of ninerik having a potential advantage after this Nomad 3. Both players have looked good on the aim, though. Again, it really just has been some verbal uncertainties from ninerik here in the chat, taking up some of these timers. But again, we haven't seen any of that from Tekkito. Calm, cool, and collected. You can tell a very seasoned tournament veteran. You know, ninerik is not new to tournaments by any means, but the tenure that Tekkito has is really making a slight difference right now, I think, in just how comfortable he is being able to roll through these picks.
100%, but we'll see what happens to this Nomad 3. As we've seen all throughout this tournament, anything can happen.
Looking at the start of the Nomad 3 here. Pretty basic start, honestly. Some flow aim, a little bit of wiggles here and there. You get your first glimpse of some of those overlaps right there on that triangle, immediately snapping back to the previous circle's location. That is the style of mapping that this takes, and it has been, you know, kind of a quintessential Nomad 3 tournament pick that catches players off guard. Even some of the best Nomad 3 players find misses on this pick. We've seen some seriously good plays on this weekend and some unfortunate breaks. Both players here, however, looking really comfortable on this. A double S for Tekkito and just 1-100 for ninerik, I believe. And here we go into a big Ki halfway through the map. This is the section of the map you can't afford to have any breaks on. We're going to hit a little bit of a refrain at the ending here with the linear stream, and both players hit it. Exact same accuracy on the board, just barely a lead for ninerik now.
Yeah, and you have to keep in mind just how short this map is. It's going to be really scary. The first break is going to be the determiner of the match, I think. ninerik finding some act drops is going to give that advantage to Tekkito now.
Oh, there it is! Oh, you hate to see it from ninerik. Gonna find a slider break on a pattern in here, and Tekkito is gonna be right on that combo, capitalizing on that break. Absolutely unwavering on these wide-angle snap patterns here. Tekkito so good at aim and textile maps. The aim control, again, is unfathomable. Just how good you have to be comfortable at this. And into the final patterns is 99.69% accuracy. Tekkito will secure the FC. 3 100s to 6 100s. Just the slider break for ninerik. And that is now a secured advantage for Tekkito using that no mod 3. ninerik goes back to his pick now. Going to try and keep this match even. Before it was an uphill battle for Tekkito. Now ninerik has to fight to stay within arm's reach of this match here. One pick for one pick is the best strategy for him right now. Needs to at least get his own pick on the board. Considering a potential break point afterwards, this match could go either way, but after this pick, it's all going to start here. He needs something confident, and there's the DT1. He saved it from earlier, ended up going for the Hard Rock pool instead, and now we're going right back in for the DT aim.
Yeah, this makes sense. This absolutely makes sense. This map is some fast aim. It's exactly what we know ninerik for. I think that of all the picks remaining in the pool, this one is like the #1 ninerik pick. I'm very excited to see how he places against Tekkito, but we can't count Tekkito out on this map at all.
ninerik, one of the fastest players probably in this tournament, if not the fastest, if you were paying attention to the key overlay on the right-hand side of the player's screen, you would actually notice if you go back to the VOD later, ninerik was single-tapping that map, which is pretty unheard of and impossible for most players that you would ever think of. So this is really just a testament to how proficient ninerik is at speed in general. So we're looking for some impressive performances out of this DT1 here. Tekkito, a strong DT1 aim player, but this really is just ninerik's playing field right now.
100%, and we're seeing he was holding that early SS as Tekkito's in the 98 territory right now. So ninerik getting that little bit of AC advantage.
It's going to be a slow start to this map here, of course. It really does take a bit to get into this. Being a 4-minute long DT1, it really does test your consistency at that AR 10.3, which is a little bit higher than some players are used to here. Unless you play a decent bit of DT or even some DT farm aim, you really don't see 10.3 a lot outside of this slot for tournament players here. So really is just a question of who is more comfortable reading this at the start here. Clearly ninerik a little bit more comfortable as Tekkito finds the first break on this. That is going to be a big confidence boost for ninerik as we hit this first pause. He's going to see Tekkito's lack of combo here, and that is going to propel him into the next section of the map.
Yeah, this next section, not too hard either. ninerik able to operate with confidence now, saying, okay, Tekkito broke, I got this. This is my game right now. And starting to take that score lead away, too. It's about an 80k lead.
Well, gotta hold it for a little bit longer. ninerik not quite secure in the combo yet, just considering how long this map is. But it's a good start. 800 combo to 300 combo. It's 500 down for Tekkito, as well as the difference in accuracy. So there's two things Tekkito is fighting against, but ninerik is going to drop the combo. So now it's only one thing Tekkito is fighting against, and it's going to be that 0.4% accuracy lead on ninerik. It's 400 combo. It's enough to go into the second half of this map here. ninerik missed at the worst possible point, capping his score at just around 750,000, assuming no breaks for the remainder of this pick here. But Tekkito has to hold the combo in order to get rid of this 80,000 score lead.
Yeah, Tekkito's still operating at a disadvantage, but now we see the break. Both players are aware of the stakes, are aware of how close it is. This is going to be a nightmare moment for both players in the last third of the map.
This is a big spot for Tekkito here. He needs to be able to hold combo up until that quarter way mark here in order to whittle that down. ninerik is going to hold off this score gain as he continues to gain combo here, now pushing 400. The more combo ninerik gets, the slower Tekkito is going to be able to bring this back. That's why these become so close at the ending. It's 40,000 score in favor of ninerik still. He has the 0.3% accuracy lead. It's all on Tekkito to hold the combo and the consistency right now. And ninerik is going to find a break. That's going to give it over to Tekkito at the last eighth of the pick here. He holds the combo, and that is going to be a break. Wait a second.
ninerik has the AC advantage, and now he has the slight combo advantage too. This is so big. ninerik taking away in the last key high over what looked like the end. Oh my lord, it is so close. Look at that score line right now. ninerik taking it away though.
It's all the Akin combo for ninerik right now. He has just a 60 combo lead, but it's the 0.4% Ak that's doing the work. He's gonna hold it into the ending. It doesn't matter what Tekkito does. ninerik finds a miss! It's gonna go back over to Tekkito at the last possible second. Can he hold it down with the accuracy alone? It looks like it's not gonna go over, and it doesn't. It's 2,000!
Just happened right there!
It's 2,000 score! It's in the ninerik's favor just on the accuracy alone. It's 5 100s to 14, and ninerik holds it down right to the last possible second. He secures his own point and brings the match even at the last 1 to 2 seconds of the DT1 pick.
This is DT1. It's not supposed to be that close. But less than a 2,000 score lead is going to give ninerik the point, something he so badly needed at the end here. It's 4 and 4. Each player has 1 pick left.
I do not expect to see picks like that in a round of 16 DT1. And with that close fashion, and of course we talked about ninerik waiting for that DT1 pick for the secured point. It wasn't quite secured, but we've got Tekkito going into that hidden 4. We mentioned it as ninerik picked that DT1, that Tekkito may have been saving this for the match point. And it looks like we may have been correct. It comes out immediately after, again, Tekkito wasting absolutely no time here. Will Tekkito be able to secure the match point on the hidden 4, and will ninerik be able to respond with his own pick afterwards? Has yet to be seen. This pick longer than the DT1 by 27 seconds. We are looking for a very extended consistency pick here on the hidden flow aim map. Let's see if Tekkito has it in him to secure this match point, or will ninerik bring it back from that early lead, draw first blood, and get that match point first and be able to potentially secure it on his own pick. Definitely the accuracy withholding from ninerik here at the beginning, dropping quite a few hundreds on these sliders. We saw the last time that happened, ninerik wasn't quite as comfortable.
Yeah, the comfort difference is very clear, and of course we know, I think Tekkito's definitely the better closer in matches. ninerik really is fighting an uphill battle, even if the score is even. Tekkito just so good, so consistent, and he doesn't really let those nerves get to him the same. But it's only determined here in the maps. Who really knows what's going to happen, but Tekkito's still holding an SS.
Very difficult section coming up now. This first Ki, these wide space streams, and ninerik is going to fall to that first spaced stream with accelerating patterning here. We come into the quarterway mark now. Tekkito still holding the combo. This is exactly what he wants to happen right now. He's counting on ninerik to not be quite as comfortable on this hidden tech, and it looks like it might pay off. We'll see. There's plenty of time left in this as Tekkito misses a wiggle pattern into the second half of this Ki, and now we're going to have a refrain section afterwards, and ninerik is going to have combo going into it. Tekkito not quite as secure in this pick as he wanted to be.
100%. ninerik can operate with some level of comfort now. It's not as big of a lead that Tekkito was able to build up before ninerik now has this huge combo advantage. Okay, not breaking on those doubles. I was a little bit worried about that. Those triples and doubles can trip some people up. But now ninerik holding a very good advantage combo-wise, but Tekkito fighting him off with just the act.
It really is just those tons of slider ends dropped at the beginning of the map for ninerik that's holding him back right now. We are now at the halfway point of the map. ninerik 240 combo lead into the slow section of the map here. We've seen some breaks at this section before. You over-aim one of these last few notes on these linears here, and it does so much damage. But we're going to come into a little bit of a refrain section here. Just going to take it easy for a few seconds on these two players here before we get into an absolutely massive final Ki of this map. It changes style just a little bit, follows more into the aim category, just basic jumps rather than flow aim. But it's on Tekkito to maintain this combo. ninerik can't afford any breaks here. Tekkito needs to hope ninerik finds a break. Otherwise, this will go back in his favor. It is now 20,000 score. And ninerik misses another space stream. It's the same pattern twice.
Yeah, breaking on both those space stream patterns. That's going to be so big as Tekkito starts to take it away, not dropping on that cut at all. And now it's a Tekkito game, still a quarter of the map left. And if he doesn't break soon, it's just it. It's just Tekkito's point.
It's a quarter of the way left in the map. We're in the final. Ki now, both players trying to do whatever they can, but Tekkito on a 900 combo to 200 combo on ninerik, falling to the exact same space stream twice in this pick here. It's 99.5% accuracy from Tekkito. Just a little bit of uncertainty towards the earlier part of the map, and it's all gonna come home to Tekkito now. It is his final pick of the match right now. Gonna bring it to match point in the final eighth of the song here on Turn It Up. 1200 combo now climbing continuously, and we're gonna hit the final section here. ninerik with a 500 combo into the ending, 97.9% accuracy, not quite able to match up, and Tekkito is going to force the match point despite being down 3-1 earlier on. It now falls on ninerik to force the tiebreaker.
Tekkito sitting in a comfortable spot now. I would argue that Tekkito might have the advantage on tiebreaker as well. He's looking primed to win this, but this is ninerik's pick. It is not over in the slightest. The pride of Norway versus the King of New York is not over quite yet. ninerik getting his final pick, potentially a tiebreaker, potentially the end of the match. Who really knows until the map happens?
We'll see what ninerik decides to go for here. DT4 is still available, but I imagine ninerik is probably going to go for something a little bit more mechanically favored against Tekkito right now. Definitely don't want to look towards that DT4 too early, unless ninerik is extremely comfortable with that map. You know, we've seen a lot of players that are good at DT opt out of that, but he does end up going for it. He goes for the DT4. Very unconventional pick for ninerik at the end here. Would have imagined something mechanically favored, as he has looked extremely good on some of the aim-styled picks today. But it's going to be XS. This is going to be our final pick of this match. Will Tekkito take a break point, or will ninerik be able to force the tiebreaker? It's 3 minutes and 21 seconds of 117 BPM gimmick double time play here. We are looking for some of the most cutthroat gameplay possible. Are we looking for Tekkito to bring it home here as our United States representative, or ninerik for Norway here? Two separate countries looking for a victory and a spot in our quarterfinals winners bracket. One of them will fall to the losers bracket.
Yeah, this is a very risky pick, and here we go into it. Tekkito versus ninerik, the last pick.
Everything
this
rides.
is AR 10.5 CS0. This map is so risky. It's honestly kind of RNG, as we've seen throughout this weekend. People haven't really been comfortable on this map. It's hard to read. It's hard to play. The movement is insane on this map. We really don't know what's over in the KI, but Tekkito's dropping so much ack, he's not comfortable in this 10.5.
This is exactly why ninerik wanted to go for this. He knows he's comfortable at these higher approach ratings, almost pushing 99% accuracy right now. Tekkito might be able to aim this pick, but it really is just about who's able to read this. So many 50s drop from Tekkito, but it's actually going to be ninerik to find the first two breaks. Tekkito is going to absolutely mash his way through the beginning of this map. His cursor is shaking. He is so far behind in score, and it's going to be the break for Tekkito, and that is actually going to secure his loss on this pick already. He is down 13% accuracy, now not able to find the combo. For Score V2, those of you that don't know, the lower your ack is, the second you drop your combo, you are immediately capped at a maximum score. And right now, ninerik's cap is significantly higher than Tekkito's, so much so that these breaks do not matter. We're past halfway of the pick now, and ninerik, ladies and gentlemen, has looked to force the tiebreaker here. We're going to wait out the rest of the map and see if this last half makes any difference, but ninerik would have to have a complete meltdown in order to lose this pick now. 130,000 score in favor of ninerik, holding combo now on Tekkito's side. 87% accuracy, and it is not climbing.
Chillier, I want to hear your thoughts about this tiebreaker, this insane flow aim, rhythm-oriented tiebreaker. Who do you think is going to take it home on this? It has to favor one of these players. And who do you think that is? Who do you think has the tiebreaker advantage as we go into our third tiebreaker in a row?
Gosh, you know, I have to say, and it was mentioned in the other match, credits to Blue and Shiba, but they talked a lot about that Nomad 3 potentially being a difference maker and showing how comfortable these players are on the tiebreaker-styled map. And with Tekkito bringing out the win on the Nomad 3 and going into a pick like this with a longer consistency-styled version of it, and ninerik apparently pulling a sight read on this, it really does worry me for his chances of winning this pick here. Tekkito has looked so good on these maps, but ninerik has been doing well for himself to perform in the face of adversity, being able to drop combo at the beginning of the map and secure some combo into the latter halves here. Both players going to be giving it their all into the final map of this match. It is now 5-5 in this round of 16 matchup. Tekkito versus ninerik. Only one of them can have a spot in the winner's bracket quarterfinals. And it is going to be whoever wins on this tiebreaker. 4 minutes and 55 seconds, 180 BPM. It is Iberic Obuta. We are going to get into it, have funds from both of the players. 5-second timer. And this is it. The final 4 minutes and 55 seconds of this match. Tekkito running the classic hidden modification on tiebreaker. We see this all too often. Absolutely nothing out of the ordinary here. ninerik going to be combating with the Nomad.
Yeah, here we go. Tekkito with the comfort hidden pick. This is really scary. I can't really say with confidence that it is absolutely going to be Tekkito. We've seen ninerik go absolutely crazy on this match. It's so hard to determine who might win here. And reminded, this is seed 4 versus 13. If you ever needed a case that which player's seeds won't really determine the match in this tournament, here you go. Seed 4 versus 13, right after we just wrapped up, I believe, seed 3 versus 14, also going to tiebreaker.
We've got 3 tiebreakers in a row for you on these Sunday matches. This is going to be the final match of the weekend. We're closing it out with a tiebreaker, and it's going to come down to some of the big key eyes in this TB. Here we see some of the spikes. We're still in kind of the flow aim realm of this map here. Now, starting after this slow section, we're going to start to space it out a little bit, but ninerik is going to miss on absolutely nothing at a corner way into the map. What?
He over-aimed the corner. Tekkito also has a pretty sizable ACK advantage. Oh, this is not good for ninerik. He needs to hope for something to happen. I don't think Tekkito is FCing this, but this is really scary for ninerik. This absolutely benefits Tekkito.
This is an absolutely tragic situation for ninerik. A quarter of the way into the tiebreaker, 600 combo now, plus for Tekkito. There's no accuracy lead to speak of. It is just the combo right now as we come into this finger control section. Both players hitting these tight back and forths into the sliders here. We have to hope for some break from Tekkito to keep this match within arm's reach for ninerik. But as of right now, these cross-screen snaps are being held until the halfway point of them.
And here are the speed patterns. This is ninerik's game now. Tekkito finding a chain miss right there. The ACK is ninerik's now. And the combo too, 560 combo. This is gonna be a close one, Chillier.
We've got absolutely no time to waste in getting these combos recirculated on these players here. We have the drop from ninerik. We've got one from Tekkito, spaced out fairly evenly. It is now the 500 combo lead for ninerik. We are past halfway in the map. This is do or die. Any combo breaks past this point have the potential to turn the entire fate of this map. The score lead now going to be going over into ninerik's favor within the next 2 seconds. Here and there it switches. 800 combo to 300 combo. Tekkito has to now hope for that miss from ninerik. We're going to approach the last quarter way mark now. That big alt and speed section just catching him off guard too much. ninerik only with the over aim in the first half here. We're going to come into some of these overlapping flow aim patterns. Both players so comfortable here. We've got another Ki for you coming up. That's going to be where the breaks come out. We're looking for something, anything on these wiggles. There's absolutely nothing. Both of these players calm, cool, collected, dropping hundreds, but no misses. This is it. This is what peak gameplay is. Into the 1-6 patterns, into the flow aim. Neither player is finding a break. It is going to come down to who drops the combo first. ninerik, 1,000+ combo. Tekkito looking to match it eventually. He needs to see the break as we are now in the final quarter of the tiebreaker.
This is so scary. This is the waiting moment. We're just waiting for something to happen, but both of these players refusing to budge. In the end, though, that does benefit ninerik. ninerik does have a sizable lead now, about 60k. About in the last eighth of the map now. We're seeing 1,400 combo versus about 900.
These are some of the most outstanding scores we've seen on this map on the weekend. Both players hitting the space double cut pattern, and we're coming into the last section of the map, and if we don't see something from ninerik soon, it's going to be it. He's going to be able to pull out the win on this tiebreaker. We've got one more section of hard overlaps here, and that's going to be it. The final few seconds of the match are approaching. It's still a 500 combo lead for ninerik. Two of the highest scores we've seen on this tiebreaker of the weekend, and there's just not going to be enough time left in this map. ninerik with 700,000+ score into the final seconds of this map. That is going to be it, ladies and gentlemen. Tekkito will fall and ninerik will clutch the match out. 727,000 score, and ninerik will move on to your quarterfinals winners bracket position.
ninerik, absolutely the dark horse of this match, not expected to win against a player as dominant as Tekkito, someone who can match ninerik on this speed, but ninerik showing right here, I can do it. The pride of Norway, I kind of want to say the pride of Europe, taking it over Tekkito in the third tiebreaker we've had in a row. Congratulations to ninerik.
What an outstanding performance, from up to 3-1, falling to even on the match and bringing it back in tiebreaker against all odds. And I want to say it was the difference of that 2,000 score on that DT1 that potentially shifted this entire match onto tiebreaker track. But we've got ninerik closing it out. The final match of the weekend, the round of 16 is now complete. Your quarterfinals winners bracket contenders have been decided. Your losers bracket has also been determined. We're going to get that all updated for you, but man, 3 tiebreakers in a row to close out the Sunday matches on top of some outstanding performances from absolutely every single one of our top 16 players this weekend. I've got to just give the biggest round of applause to every single player who qualified for this tournament and came out for the first weekend of matches here and gave their best. We have seen some of the best gameplay that we have to offer from tournament players and non-tournament players alike who have qualified for this tournament, all vying for one of those 2 spots in the round table land.
Yeah. Now let's go over the quarterfinals bracket a little bit. We do have the information on all of the matches now, so let's go through them one by one. Quarterfinals, first match will be Malashevsky versus Xylus. A terrifying match between the best player in Poland and one of the best players in Canada. We will then see ninerik versus MCY4, the freshly determined match as ninerik moves on to fight the absolutely terrifying player from Hong Kong, and then Zudinator versus Enri, and then Bartek versus Karumi. And then,
some craziness.
Yeah, and then for the losers bracket, we have Swick versus Chikone, Tekkito versus Inner Cambing, Reedcat versus Demonical, and Amamiya Kokoro versus Mustache.
Man, every single one of those matchups sounds absolutely terrifying. We've had some pretty big score lines this weekend. Next weekend, of course, in the quarterfinals, we're going to be ramping the difficulty of that pool up to fit the skill levels of our players that remain in that winners bracket. But man, oh man, there is plenty to look out for, not just in the winners bracket, but in this losers bracket as well.
100%. But that's going to wrap us up.
That it is. We are going to now conclude our round of 16 matchups stream. That is it. Everyone has been decided. We have everything all secured in. We are going to take a very short break, about 5 minutes before we come right back with our quarterfinals map pool showcase. So we're going to give you all a chance to maybe go get yourself settled and then come back for that. But that has been it from us for the matches this weekend. There is plenty more coming at you for the next few weekends here, starting with the quarterfinals and the quarterfinals map pool showcase in just 5 minutes. I have been Chili Repair. He has been Takani. Thanks for everyone for sticking around this weekend, and we will see you shortly.